Welcome, everybody. Okay, in this quick tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to create a Google form from scratch. So you can customize it and then be able to share it with others so you can get some data, information, whatever you need for your Google form. It's going to work. Trust me. So I'm going to teach how to add some questions, and there's different types of questions you can add. I'm going to show you how you make them required if those are the ones that you really want and they can't skip through. You can customize the theme and settings, and then I'm going to show you how to send it and share out the form and make sure you've got your settings right. So this could be perfect for teachers, homeschool groups, event RSVPs, if you're doing surveys, or if you need a small business sign up or intake form like my accountability partner, Ty, is working on, and that's what I'm doing this for. So, hey, Ty, I'm doing this just for you. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. I'm going to present, share, and I'm going to go to the entire screen because that's just the way I roll. All right. So now I want you to go to your Google Drive and come over to your Rubik's Cube up here in the top. And you see all of these different options. You're going to scroll down until you find forms. So once you click into your forms, you do have some templates already. See them? They're beautiful. You might just want to use one of those and then work around it. Or you can start from a blank form. So I'm going to just show you from a blank form how easy it is to build one of these things. So once you title it, so I'm going to say, hey, Ty. Okay, there you go. You click in there and it names it. Okay, this is where you tell what you're doing this for. This is just for you. But you will say things like, thank you for finding me here, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. It's like a little welcome message and let them know the purpose of this Google form. So you can build that out here and set it up. So that's kind of like what they will see when they first open the form. So now you start with a question. Now, when you click in this box, so like right here, you just click in, you're going to see a drop down and you're going to have different options that you can choose. So it's super cool. So you might want short answer, and you see how it's going to change it when you click. You might want them to be able to write a whole paragraph and a whole book, which that's kind of like my style. Or you might say multiple choice. If you choose that one, you come in and you say, you are the best accountability partner, or thanks for being awesome, whatever, you just keep adding. You see how you do that? So then you keep adding. And then you hit X if you didn't want that one, right? Now, you could throw it away. You could duplicate. Or you can scroll over and you could say, wait, I want this to be required, because maybe your first question is one that's important for you to know and you don't want them to just be able to skip through. So if you look here at multiples, you can get a little fancy with these things, but I just really say whether I want it required or not. And I go here, I keep it pretty simple, and I pick different ones. Check out the check boxes. This is like if they have more than one answer that they could do. I love that one. Now, for this one with the drop down, they could choose, you have to build your drop downs. This one is if you want them to send you something, like maybe you want to let them submit a document or an image. So you click here, and it'll tell you with the file upload, you can ask for particular kinds of files. You see that? And you can click in the maximum number, the size. See all that? So cool, right? So that's a file upload. This one is if you want to rank, but then you have to label it. So this would be like number 1 is not so great, and then 2 is it's okay, right? So you get it. You make your linear scale. This one's neat because you can give the ratings here. So you can actually make rows and columns. That's really fancy. I've never done these kind of grids or anything like that, but you can. This one is if you want them to be able to choose a date. Okay. So I absolutely love it. And most of the time I'll be like straight up. I use short answer, I use paragraph, I'll use multiple choice, or I'll use check boxes. Or if I'm doing something for work, I might have them give me like their author profile picture or things like that. And so I ask them to upload things in the Google form so I can keep it all in one spot. So once you get your first question, and I'm just going to say, you're awesome. Yes. And yes, you don't get but a yes for that. Okay. Now go and hit add question. You see how I just hit that plus button? And then it says, this is another question. And you do the same thing. And then you make sure whether you want whichever style you want. And then you come in if you want it to be required. Because now let me show you the difference between one that's required and one that's not required. So when you click, look at the difference. This one does not have an asterisk, a star. You see that star there? This one does. That means that on this one, I clicked required. So you can go back in and you can see that it turned asterisk. But look at this one. It's not. And that's why you didn't see the star there. So just make sure, double check yours before you submit it, because sometimes you might say, oh, wait, I've looked at all these questions. I really don't need that one to be required. You can change it up before you just finalize it. So let's say you decided you like this question first. You can hold it right here where it shows the 6 dots and move them around. So that gives you the opportunity to kind of like organize it in your right flow in case you come up with another way you want it to look. Okay, so now you just keep building, right? Now, you can go fancy and you can insert images, you can add titles, you can bring in questions, but you can even add a video. Like, I really just like to keep things myself like, and you can do sections, and that's more complicated, but it's easy though. It's able for you to break things up in case they don't need one section, they can skip it and go to another one. But just for like getting an intake form, I think all you need is what you kind of see here. All right, so once you finish and you come down to the bottom and you just say, like, tell me more, or any comments, or, whatever, that'll be your like last one. Let's say this is exactly what you want. So you come up to the top, this is your questions, words you've made. And now, of course, you have 0 responses, but when you start getting responses, it's actually going to be able to link to a sheet, and you will open it up into Google Sheets and be able to see everything right there. You will also be able to see things here in this screen, and it's going to be by participant, or it's going to be by question, or it will group it. So it's super cool. So you get really fast data. But I want you to go to settings real quick, and I want to show you the different settings that you might want to investigate. So teachers, we will use this and make the quiz because we can already set the answers the way we want. And so if you're doing like a really quick mini quiz to challenge some of your followers, this is what you could do for that. That would be a really fun thing to do, but it's probably not what you need. So let's go to responses. So do you see where it says collect email addresses? I always like to put that they have to manually add in their email address, because if you click it here, verified, look what happens. They have to sign into Google in order to do that one. So I always just have people to type in their own email. I always put send responders a copy of their response, always, because that way it's going to go back to them and it's going to say, thank you for submitting this. And it's going to show you the what you wrote. That way you can reference it. Your person can reference it later. Now, this one, I personally do not allow people to go in and change things after it's submitted. And the reason why, my rationale behind that, is that I want to make sure that when I've looked at it that one time, in that response section, that it's right the way I see it, right? I don't want to be like, oh, I thought it was this and it wasn't. So I would say limit to one response. It's according to what you need. But when you do that, look what happens. You have to sign into Google. So I usually just leave that unchecked. So now with presentation, this is where you can have your participant see a little progress bar at the end to kind of say you've got 20% left, things like that. If you don't care the order, do that. But I like to keep mine in a particular order. I like the confirmation. So now you can put your logo, like mine would be clean, value-based, stories that inspire. And I would say something like, thanks so much for reaching out. And then I'll get back to you soon. Like whatever you want to say. So it's better to me than what was up there. Show link to submit another response. And I would always leave that one on just in case they want to submit another one. And then, of course, this is how you want to see results with others and you let them see it. So I never click this one because these are for me. Okay. And I come down here. Remember, I'm going to put responder input. Now, this one is you could just settings apply to all, but sometimes you might not want everything required. So you might not want to click that. All right. So that's your settings section. Now you're going to come up and you're going to make it pretty. So right now, if you just preview it, that is what it's going to look like, right? It's just plain. I know that's your colors though, that purple. So when you come here, customize the theme, now you get to play. My favorite font, I use it for everything in my life, is Railway. I'll tell you why later. It's just so sentimental. So Railway is my font. So I'm going to change everything to Railway. My business colors are orange, of course, for monarchs. But then you could choose an image. And this is what's super cool because they already have some fun ones in here. So, of course, you might want to pick that one for yours, for Tipsy Travelz, or you may want something else. But I would say that would be. So you see all the different choices, and you can just keep going down and keep checking these things out. You can also upload. So you can add your own images here, or you can search for photos. We've come a long way from those original ones. So that's how you would upload it. So let's say I want to change the theme. I'm going to hit choose image again. And I am going to, I love this one, pick graduation. And then I'm going to insert it. And so see how beautiful it looks? And then it will match and change the colors for you. But you can go in and customize the colors yourself. You can change the backgrounds yourself and make it just look a little different, pop it up. Of course, I know y'all are going to snazz it up. All right. Then after you get it the way you want, and then you can preview it again. And now you've got your font choices. And see, let me show you down at the bottom. Page 1 of 1, you see that? It's going to show you what you got to do. Now, you can always go back in, edit anything you want just by clicking into these different boxes, moving things around, deleting, requiring, right? When you're ready, you're going to hit publish. So now I'm just publishing this to show you. So anyone with the link can respond. You can hit manage, and this is what it's going to look like. So the editor view is just restricted because you don't want people to go in there and edit. But anybody with the link, you want to be able to respond. So just make sure everything is, and then if you want to share it with someone and then give them editing rights, then you would click in and you will see it pop up and you will say, oh, I want you to be the editor, or you can be a collaborator with me. I'll show you where that's at too. Anyone with a link. Okay. I'm going to hit publish. And now you've got your link, and then you can shorten it. You can then copy and paste this if you want to go make a bit.ly or a tiny URL. You can do that too. You don't have to, because you can put it in your website and add a button in your website and say, click the link here. You can do that. Or you might want to embed the HTML on your website. You see that? And it'll just go right in. So now, if you like the way you set your form up, now you can make a copy of your own form, right? And you can just kind of change it up a little bit for whatever needs you have. All right, so I wanted to show you that. So you know how to hit share, right? So when we hit our share, copy the responder link. It's everything you need is all right here. And you're good to go. Because it is, guess what? It is published. Now, this one is cool because you can come here and say, I'm not accepting responses anymore. Let's say you get booked up and you're like, nope, I don't want it to be open there. But we also can limit them on a date. And so I just did this on a form of mine. I have a giveaway, and they have to survey by the 21st of February. So that way I could do the giveaway, and I'm having a Monarch meeting on the 22nd to go over those results. So I needed it closed on Saturday. So that is something like if you're doing something for a special event and you want it time crunched, then that's how you do it. And then you can come in and say, sorry, we are limited on time and need numbers, whatever you want to say, right? Okay. So that's how you do all of that. And you're ready to go. You got your form. Of course, it says it's unavailable, but that's your form. That's how you make it. I hope it's been helpful to you. And if you don't understand any of the things I showed you, or you want me to sit with you again, I'll do that again on Tuesday night. So good luck making your form. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.